What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Now, there's a saying, with great power comes great responsibility. But what if you have a big influence, number-wise? Let's have a chat about that today. Let's go. What's up, everybody? First things first, I gotta welcome back on the show. He has not been on the show for God knows how long. Mr. Arvind Kumar, how have you been, man?
Hello, everybody. I'm back from the depths of darkness.
Yes, exactly.
I'm surviving. That's a good word, we need to use nowadays, surviving.
Yeah, the only way that I can talk to you is through social media. It's like, you know, every time you make a piece of content that's obviously not targeted to me, I try to make it feel like it's being targeted to me. Because after that, you know, I WhatsApp you, but you don't reply. It's like that. It's okay.
I know. If there's one thing I'm hated for, right?
Yep.
Like, it's always for not replying people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's a habit, I think so. Like, I don't know how is there a therapy for this or not?
God. It's called, like, you know, do not turn on silent mode. Do not turn on vibration mode.
Yeah, my phone is always on mute. Not even vibration, you know. It's like mute. Like no sound, no vibration, nothing.
But how have you been, Arvind? You know, it's been a while since we last connected. You know, I hope everything's okay.
I've been good. I've been drinking a lot of water. I found like new love in water. As I've always developed this crush on water, but now it's just a deeper crush. I'm glad because I don't know, I'm trying to advocate for water. Like, everyone should drink water. Don't need to do any type of things on your face. Just drink water. Like, you literally glow from the in and the outs.
Yeah, I love how you're advocating for water on the day that we don't have water. That's amazing. Like,
I don't have water. I forgot.
Yeah, that explains the hairstyle that I have right now. You know, it looks like I just got up, but no, it's just I haven't showered in a few days. So,
oh no.
But anyways, today, you know, we have a very special guest on the show, and today we're going to be talking about quite a topic as well, which we actually haven't never addressed before. I'm actually quite surprised, but today will be a great time to talk about it because, you know, we have people from all sorts of platforms, experience, you know, all the years of experience to basically give their input today. But it gives me great honor, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome on the show today. I used to watch him on TV when I was young. Then I was very fortunate to have met him in person and then have that little moment like, oh my God, I used to watch you on TV. And then once in a while, you know, meet him and then get to know him, watch him on stage. He is very well known as a stand-up comedian, but also he talks to the whole of Malaysia right now from 6 a.m. to 10 in the morning on Fly FM's morning show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Douglas Lim on the show!
Hello, everybody. All doing well. Please take care of yourself. We haven't won the fight yet. Keep fighting.
Douglas, how have you been, man? I mean, like, I would just only assume that things have gotten like 1,000 times busier ever since, you know, you have started your job as a radio announcer.
Yes, I didn't think I was gonna need to spend this much time on radio because when you're driving and you listen, the radio listening experience is so different from the radio doing experience. I don't know if if people at home realize this. Like, we don't get to listen to any of the songs.
Oh yeah,
when you're doing radio.
Yeah, you don't. The minute you off your microphone, okay, what are we talking about next?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you make it funny? Okay,
the way we sell the song is like, oh, this is the next song, it's awesome, and then we don't listen.
Do you get people coming up to you now and say, hey, what's a good song to listen to since you're a radio DJ?
No, I because my stand-up comedy persona trumps that, so usually people just show up and go like, hey, tell me a joke, hey, tell me a joke.
Douglas Lim, again, I have to bring back the fact that when I was younger, I watched Douglas Lim on Kopitiam. Loved that series a lot. And then, you know, after Kopitiam ended, Douglas, you pursued a career in stand-up comedy, and then you led a group called the MACC, the Malaysian Association of Chinese Comedians, MACC, the Malaysian Association of Chinese Comedians. Yeah. I don't want to say it wrong just in case.
Yeah, not the other one. The other one is funnier. Yeah, so.
And, you know, you've been selling out gigs. I think more recently, before the pandemic, you did your final tour. You've appeared, dude, you've done everything, dude. You've appeared in dramas, you appeared in movies. What now? You're doing radio. What are you? And okay, more recently during the pandemic when everybody was stuck at home, you conquered YouTube with all of your viral videos. What is there left not for you to do, Douglas?
I wanna get on like a proper maybe 60 episode Malay drama series. That would be my ultimate. That would
Oh.
yeah. I want to be kind of maybe play Sean Lee's father or uncle.
But here's a question that I would like to ask, because I used to look up to you as a celebrity, okay, when I was younger, and then obviously as a person who watches from the other side of the screen, we always have this perception that, oh my God, it's Douglas Lim. He's an actor, and if I were to ever, the thing is, it's always like that. When you see someone on screen, you'll never bump into them in person. When you bump into them in person, it's like, oh my God, today's my luckiest day, right? How much of at that point in time did you feel like when everywhere you went, people recognized you, and then people really like, oh, I love watching you on Kopitiam and stuff like that. Okay, and then after that, we fast forward to after you did your stand-up comedy gig, and then people even know you more, and then after that, you blew up online. What was the difference between back then and now?
I think now people want to know a lot more about you personally, and they feel like you owe it to them to show the personal side of you, what your morals are, what your philosophy is. Whereas last time it was a bit more, the transaction was simpler. I show up, I do a show, you show up to watch the show, and then we're done.
Right.
You don't think about me for the rest of your life. I don't need to constantly update and tell you what I'm doing. And that will be it. And then you live your life, I live my life, and I'll say, hey, I've got a show again, and you'll be like, all right, I'll come and watch that show. So it used to be that way, and I think even growing up, when I was watching people on TV, you watch Britney Spears, and then the Spice Girls, or even the boy bands, like you didn't know much about them. They came up with good music. You listen to the good music, you vibe to it. I mean, like R. Kelly, when he came up with I Believe I Can Fly, that was like a major theme song. Now guy's a bit of a sick.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So now, okay. I mean, like, okay, asking Arwin though. I mean, you did not blow up in an era of mainstream. You basically one day decided to create content online. And, for some reason, your video basically blew up and you basically grew an audience.
For some reason? Because he was good lah. What do you mean for some reason?
Yeah, he's good lah. But to be honest, I'll be very honest lah. Sometimes, right, the videos I do, right, I like the worst video you do, you don't expect it to go viral. All of a sudden, boom, you explode. And then you're like, oh, what did I do? And you try to replicate it and you'll never be able to figure out, oh, what did I do in order to basically be in this position? Wait, did you ever feel that?
Yeah, I mean, like, videos that you do just for fun. Like I remember one of the videos I made that blew up. It was the Mak Kau Hijau video. That was the first one. And the second one immediately after that was the PPAP. I did it for fun. I didn't even prep myself. I just took the camera. I was like, you know what? I just want to like repeat after this PPAP thing and talk about it. And it boom. And I was like, what did I do? Like how did it go this far? But I mean, eventually you realize things that people like along the way. It's the authenticity, it's the originality that they enjoy watching more than the very planned, very systematic kind of content, I think.
Yeah, and then after that, with that basically being explains how you basically grew your audience, and then now Douglas, you are in a position where you're killing it, man. I mean, like you're you were the king of comedy, and now you're
Shang-Chi who we got the Douglas Lim in the house, yeah, everybody.
And also you are the king of YouTube right now, dominating all the views, and the social space is basically going on you. So I would like to say that all three of us kind of have something in common. Right? I mean, obviously, me being the older one, in terms of digital, okay? In Douglas, you just basically blew up online, and Arwin as well is still dominating the digital space. But it brings me to my next question. I mean, when you are able to amass such a huge audience that's basically accountable in terms of numbers underneath your video, because, it's basically there for everybody to see. You have a lot of people coming up to, bro, how much is it to make a video on your stuff and stuff like that? Here comes the part where money is being thrown at you to either promote something or to basically throw something on your video or to basically talk about something. And the question I'd like to ask, because, the term influencer, okay, has always been looked at a very, very negative light. How do you think advertising has changed, back then, in mainstream versus how it is today, Douglas?
I have always been very interested in advertising, in a sense that I wanted to watch it, and I would always try and gauge how much it influenced my buying pattern, like how much I bought into the brand, how much I bought into the whole campaign. And so in terms of influences, I've always felt like if you want me to maybe sell or promote a product, it has to have something to do with me. In other words, beauty product, don't ask me lah. Like why? Why would you, or badminton racket? Serious? Just like at the same time, I see, number one, number two badminton players, and they have that car battery. Like why can products maybe be a bit more curate a bit better, so that at least the personality they are putting front and center has some authority over about the product.
Right. But okay, so if a brand were to come to you, what were the first few things you basically knock off your checklist before you actually accept that job?
How much?
Have you ever had any brand come to you, gave you money that you asked for? They're like, okay, cool. They're willing to pay whatever I asked for. But once they gave you the brief, you're like, okay, you know what? It's something that I don't believe in. And then you turned it down or took it.
God, like a car brand, I turned down because I cannot drive. It's so sad. I really love, but I cannot drive. So.
Yeah, but what if they ask you, say, we want you to promote this car's safety issues, that crash, the airbag come up. So would you still take the job?
Depends on the model and the brand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, okay, what about you, Douglas? When a brand comes up to you and says, okay, I want you to advertise my product. Okay, I want you to, this is the amount I'll pay you. I'll agree to pay whatever you ask for. But they basically ask you to do things that you think that, this might be a little bit like weird. So how do you do it?
Well, I think it goes through I won't say two-step process, but there are two different sides that would do due diligence. Number one is my management side. So they will basically look at the product. My management is quite thorough. They go through your internet records. They basically research the product, like when you incorporated, who's on the directorship list. We'll go and probably get CTOS, look at your credit rating. Well, who have you done? What if, how many bad comments have you got? We'll look at your page and see if you are the type of person that would delete stuff. Have people said things about you? How verifiable are those things? So that's one side. The other side is my side, which is the creative side, and I'll be like, okay, what do you need me to do? You need me to be in a toilet, like pretending I can't pass motion because your medicine is about constipation. Yeah, probably I don't want to do that right now in my life. I got other problems because I pass motion very easily, so certain things where if it's in my opinion a bit too ugly for me to do, then creatively I don't think I want to do it. Then I will say, no matter how good the company is or how upright they might be, I will say I can't. This for the brand right now is not right. I can't do this now. But a lot of times I'll be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And then my management will be like, okay, no, they're a bit dodgy. They've here. They seem to have cut some corners here and there, so we can't do this.
Okay, actually, I want to kind of pinpoint to where you mentioned, like, I have my team to check the background stuff like that. So in other words, like, you're kind of like it's like a background check of this person to basically make sure that, hey, I'm working with a reputable company, I'm not doing anything wrong and stuff like that. Is to safeguard yourself and also to safeguard your audience as well. Am I correct? But okay, what would be your advice to, okay, you see, you have a team. Most influencers, right, they're a one-man show. They blow an audience. It's just them and their mobile phone, you know what I mean? And sometimes their own cameras. Everything is all do it all. What would you advise to, like, all these content creators who basically doesn't have a team or can't even afford a team to help them, do all these type of things?
Well, you got to take your time, You have to do a Google. I mean, Google is there. Use Google, or I would say your network. I mean, you're a social media creator. You've got your network of social media creators. Check with them. Hey, has this company approached you? What have they offered? Have they done this? Have they said this? I'm sure someone will have some tea on the company or not. There's always goss going around. Just you can just check that way first before you jump in. I would say, and this applies to a lot of not just social media creators, but a lot of Insta famous, and I don't mean Insta famous I mean like suddenly they're on Instagram and they're famous. I mean like suddenly they're instantly famous, like for whatever they did something, it went viral, they become instantly famous. they are not used to looking at that amount of money for this amount of effort. They'll be like, dude, I work a month, delivering stuff, and I get maybe 1,000 too. Now you're telling me, you're going to give me this amount, you're going to give me 4,000 for one video, like that's insane. And it could change their lives. Yep. But they also got to understand that a lot of other people are watching income tax. People who might be investigating the brand that has hired you. So when something looks really good, take your time. I don't know, man. But I've always been accused of being too slow. I've always been accused of being very cowardly when it comes to things like this, as opposed to some of my contemporaries who trailblaze, and they go in and those who succeed make it really, really big, and those who don't get burnt quite badly. So
right now okay, here's one thing I want to basically bring up. Now, a lot of paid posts on social media are basically camouflaged as genuine recommendations. Some influencers, they hide their commercial arrangement with brands, pretending that their compliments about a product is complimentary instead of being paid. And what is your view on that, Arwin?
I think it's sad, to be honest, right? There are times I wish I don't have to tell people it's an advertisement, or I don't have to tell people it's a paid promotion, because I genuinely love the brand. Like, I genuinely love it. I don't want to make it seem like I'm doing it, although yes, I'm doing it because I'm paid to do it. I don't want them to seem like I have to do it because I'm paid to do it. You know what I mean? If you really if you really believe in a brand, or if you're genuine with it, right?
Yep.
I don't think it's an issue if you don't put the ad, hashtag ad, paid promo and all of that. I don't think it's an issue. I think it's only an issue when you don't use it, you don't believe in it, and you don't want to tell people it's an ad. Then that maybe becomes an issue, because it's no longer genuine. To me, I think the root cause of whatever that's happening, right, is just authenticity. Like, a lot of there's a difference between content creators and influencers. I have not enjoyed the term influencer because of the value it holds now. It's basically from like nothing to zero, from zero to nothing, right? So I usually just go back to just, hey, I'm a content creator. There's not much of a weight on you to prove to people that you like things that you post. I create content, that's all. If I call myself an influencer, then I need to be very careful, because whatever I do, I have to keep in mind that there is a direct influence on the audience. So to me, I don't know how to identify who should, who shouldn't. But if you ask me, I feel like I don't want to, because I know I'm authentic. I know like I'm genuine with what I post. But it's just that, like kerana nila setitik rosak susu belanga, because of like a bunch of like people who don't do it like authentically. The rest are somehow seen as the black sheep. So What do you think, Douglas? Do you think like people or influencers or people in the digital space, creators should actually disclose that they're actually doing an ad?
Do you think Ronaldo actually eats Kentucky Fried Chicken and washes his hair with Head and Shoulders he bought from Shopee? Nora, I mean, give the audience some benefit of the doubt. I think they know. Sometimes, and at the end, and I would look at it, if you're watching something that I've done, I don't think your frame of mind would be like, oh man, I really feel I want to buy something. Let's see what Douglas has to say. I don't think that's the thought process. It's more of like, I'm feeling a bit bummed. I want to watch something funny, and then you watch what I say, and I give you something funny, even if there's a product attached to it. What I promise you, or what I'm known for, is giving you something funny. So if that's there, up to you lah, whether you want to buy the product or not. Same thing. Ronaldo keeps scoring goals. Up to you lah, whether but actually he doesn't use Head and Shoulders. I saw his Instagram. I saw his shampoo. He uses bioessences. Who cares? I mean, he plays football. I tell jokes. I don't understand why there's a massive confusion that's happening here.
Yeah, so for me, it's a little bit more different. Like when I want to basically do a brand collaboration or stuff like that, right? I don't want to basically do a brand and tell people or tell the audience, hey, buy this is good. I would always like to basically use the nature of the product or the unique selling point of the product to basically complement the story of the entire film and let the audience basically make their sound judgment to whether they think that, I think what he did with the product in his film kind of very seamlessly fell in place. And then maybe, that's where we are basically encouraging them to find out more information about the product so that they can basically make a sound decision to whether they want to make that final decision to purchase the product that was basically placed in your video or things that you've talked about. So in regards to what I do, I feel that I would be openly transparent to my viewers to say that, look, hey, this is a collaboration with a brand. I always like to use the word collaboration. I don't like to say the word ad because when you say the word ad, right, it's always like, oh, this is an ad. I'm going to pay. This person's been paying me to say this. I've worked with a lot of brands that say, I work with mobile phone brands. I work with Samsung. They have plenty of unique selling points about their phone, their camera, their this and that. But for me, it's okay, I understand unique selling points, but this is how I would write a story, and this is how I would use those unique selling points to complement the story and not have the story complement your phone. And that's where, as what Douglas was mentioning earlier, people are not stupid. Our audiences will be like, oh, you know what? That's a great collaboration right there. And it basically states up to their claim lah. So I feel that collaboration is a lot better rather than a company, hey, just I pay you like $10,000 to say this is good and say that this is damn good. Then after that, when that's done already, you're basically seen using another product, because most of the time, when you Insta story and asilap, I accidentally, talked about this product, but I'm using a competitor's product.
Yeah, I would like to propose an experiment to all the brands there. If you are watching, any of the brand managers, any advertising people, I propose an experiment. Do not allow your influencers to do the call to action. In other words, tell them, hey, this is the product, shoot, do whatever you want with it, but I do not need you to do the call to action. Don't say, hey, buy this. Just use it, shoot it, have fun, whatever it is. Let the audience make up their mind. Try that, try that. See whether your sales dramatically decrease or not. If it does, then sorry lor.
Because I feel like, okay, as content creators, we are there to help amplify or just help support the brand's messaging of the campaigns and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, yeah, I think what Douglas said was quite cool. I mean, don't do the CTA and see whether your sales will go up or not. What do you think, Arwin?
Yeah, I think it's don't tell people what to do. Let people do what they want to do. I think that's a very good advice actually. I hope everyone watching and listening, please take this into consideration. I think it's a good thing lah. I mean, when you stop telling people how to do certain things or what to do, you give them the liberty to decide on their own without feeling like I have to.
Yeah. Okay. So can I just ask Douglas, what has been your best brand collaboration? The client was like, whoa, they're amazing. They literally gave you full creative control. They believed in whatever you proposed and stuff like that. And you had full creative reign. And at the end of the day, it just became very, very successful, fulfilling for both sides.
One of the earliest things I did, which really showed this type of collaboration, was Kia. Kia Motors. They did a Chinese New Year ad, but this came via an ad agency. And I really, until today, I mean, Zufa and gang, if you're watching this, from Dolphin Advertising, they came up to me and said, Douglas, we got this thing, but we want your idea, we want your input, and if you're feeling that, you're going to be controlled, you're going to be manacled, you're going to be cajoled into doing certain way, if you want to pull out, we're pulling out with you. So I'm like, okay. And it was, I mean, I really liked that one because it was about Chinese New Year, so the theme I had was about this guy who was trying to sell the Kia, their USPs or whatever, and I said they must give a Chinese New Year feel, and so they were doing some dumb, some very very stereotypical Chinese. I said, no, Chinese New Year. This is your son, your useless son is coming back to ask you for money. So this Chinese New Year is anger, don't you know? A lot of parents, they get very angry. So give me that anger, and then the guy starts telling the USPs, but in a very angry manner. And then he just goes angry, you stupid son, and he tries to strangle the camera. And I'm like, cut, good take.
So you enjoy that because they basically supported you and followed your vision lah.
Yeah, they were cool about it. I said, we know this is comedy, we know this is entertainment. And again, in the days before internet, where advertisements had to inform. Now advertisements just have to intrigue, because if they're intrigued, The information is one click away. Last time, no lah. Last time you see on TV, hey, what is this? Wow, better go and check the phone directory. Go and I don't know what you're doing. Now, you watch the thing. You don't even have to tell you, I watched the advertisement. I don't have to tell you what the ingredients are. You want to find out? One click. You want to where to buy? One click. How much? One click.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Okay, actually, that's actually very.
So why you want to spend time like going? Oh, this has aloe vera.
So it's to basically capture the audience first in the most creative manner and let them be the decision maker to whether they want to find out more information about your product, and then the advertiser will have to do their due diligence in informing the end user as much information as possible before they make the decision. So it's a collaborative effort in order to sell a brand or a product. That's what you're trying to say. Arvin, what about you? What's your best brand collaboration that you remember? Got a lot, right? Why you don't want to say you scared the other brands? I mean, you don't have to name brands, no problem. You can just tell us.
I think I loved working with. I think 98% of the brands I've worked with are amazing people because they give you a lot of freedom to curate and craft your own content. That's good. I don't like the brands who like Douglas say, like have whatever USP got, 10 USPs must be in the video. I don't like that kind of brands. Like it's so saturated and so dense. Like people just get fed up watching the video. But certain brands don't understand. They just want like you to just do it and just like throw it out there and then that's it. It's none of your business after that. Those are brands I'm not a fan of. Other than that, I love every brand I've worked with. Thank you.
Then okay, so here's one more question I'd like to ask. Right, Douglas, ever since you've basically exploded on YouTube and you've gained even a bigger mass audience, like a very very big audience online and digital online, do you feel there's a bigger sense of responsibility to who you are as an entertainer now that a lot of eyeballs are basically being placed on you?
Yeah, I think when the moment you achieve the status of public figure, then it comes with the territory lah. Whether you agree or you disagree, I personally disagree that I should be held accountable for everything. I disagree that I should be a role model. I disagree because I like comedy. I want to tell jokes. I want to make you laugh, and that's pretty much it. I really don't want to tell you how to live. I have no rights. I have no experience. I'm not a psychologist. I can't give advice. And I don't want to be responsible for that. Unfortunately, it comes with the territory. And you have to accept that. It's one of those things. If you don't want to accept that, then you go back. As in, like, you literally, hey, do you know, like, can you imagine like a creative person like J.K. Rowling, right? You're an author. An author used to be so far removed from the public eye, correct? You're an author.
Yeah.
But even in this day and age, she can be called out for so many things because of her philosophy, because of what she believes, because of what she thinks. And I'm like, dude, she writes books about magic. That's what she's good at doing. I don't understand why she needs to agree with your philosophy. Completely different stuff. But too bad, you have achieved that status. So unless you want to give all that up, and just live your life normally, then unfortunately you have that responsibility, and it's very heavy and it's very unfair.
And okay, the reason why I ask this, I know stand-up comedians, right? I've been to some of your shows, right? You are stand-up comedians, right? They are really ruthless when it comes to banging people, like making fun of people. And the thing is, only stand-up comedians can do this because it is just their show. Everybody knows that they're going to a stand-up comedy show. Everybody knows that all here is just for comedy's sake. We must learn how to take a joke. Stand-up comedians also make fun of audiences. They use them to kind of like compliment their humor if they're trying to talk about something, and people don't mind that. But the minute you do that online, people are, oh my god, you are so bad. So
cancel.
The cancel culture and all that. So I just want to go back to because, to be honest, heads off to you, Douglas. When you came up with all the content, all the satire comedy that you did, right, because of the political issues and stuff like that, were you at least a little bit like, am I going to get into trouble with this? Did you second guess yourself, or were you like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want to do and I'm not doing anything wrong?
Well, it all started because I couldn't do stand-up. I mean, a lot of us entertainers, live shows ended and we were done. Like MCs, DJs, dancers, musicians, we were done. Once the pandemic came, we were like, okay, close shop, right? So, okay, I thought, I can't tell jokes live anymore. I thought, okay, I've got this camera and then I see people doing stuff online. All right, I'll try that. And what I did for my videos is just the sketch form of what I do in stand-up. So in stand-up, I'm telling you about this thing, and a lot of times stand-up comedians, we use metaphors, we use extended metaphors, we use similes, we use things like that, and so and A did this to B, and then we'll be like, can you imagine if this also happened in somewhere? That's the stand-up form. It's always, can you imagine, if this happened in a swimming pool, we would not accept this, man. So it's always, this thing happened, but can you imagine it somewhere else? Do it in sketch form, then that becomes satire. So I figured if I did it that way, people know what we're talking about, but I don't call out your name, I don't show your image, I don't say anything that can cause libel. I think it's fine. I mean, sometimes you get people complain because we got this thing called akta sakit hati. You know how dumb that sounds?
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. So when your videos blew up, right, did you at one point like second guess the decision to upload a video, or you be like, you know what, never mind lah?
I have, definitely. No, as comedians, you always second guess because at the what's your objective? Your objective is trying to get a laugh. I want to get the laugh. So now if I bring up this topic, will I get more backlash? So is it worth the laugh?
Okay.
Is it worth bringing up certain sentiments, certain topics? A lot of people say, Douglas, in comedy, are any subjects taboo? In other words, are there certain things you don't joke about? And I'll tell you no. That we joke about anything. In my head, I've joked about your mother, your grandmother, cancer. I've joked about so many things in my head. I just don't tell it. And that's the difference. Okay. A lot of people don't understand this, including our leaders. When an accident has happened and people are hurt and the people are hospitalized, do not make jokes about the accident and say it out loud. That's basically it. And comedians, I feel, are a bit more aware when it comes to things like this. Is the joke worth it? So yeah, of course you second guess. You second guess all the time. But so far, the decisions that we've made are pretty okay lah. I mean, Malaysia has been very clear about what she can take and what she will not stand for. And we play ball lah.
Yeah, but I mean, I just gotta give it to you. Like every video that you released was just my in-laws were sending it on WhatsApp groups, ripping your video and then forwarding it to everybody. And then you can see down there forwarded many times and stuff like that. And then they tend to not watch my video anymore. And but okay, like I've asked this to Douglas, but I need to ask the Arwin as well. You have a huge following, and your following is actually growing day by day. You advocate for a lot of things, but as your numbers grow, all right, do you feel that there's this some sense of responsibility to kind of upkeep with what the public has to expect of you? I mean, Douglas just gave his input there. What about you?
I think, like you said, with great power comes great responsibility, and like what Douglas said, it's unfair because you have to think like not 2 times, you have to think like so many times before saying something, before posting something, because you have to think about what people will feel, what people will, and I don't want to do that because back then when the fame was not there, you could do anything easily. Like you can even say the wrong thing, you won't go like viral for it because nobody knows you. But now it's just unfortunate and fortunate at the same time. The fame is a good thing. I mean, you can do a lot of things with it, but you have to be very, very mindful, very, very careful because one wrong step, the generation now is best with its cancel culture. One wrong step and that's it. You're done with it. One conversation they leak from your WhatsApp group, from your WhatsApp channel, and that's it. They perceive you as a bad person for the rest of your life. So it's a very, very dangerous and scary world when you have the fame. But I think I've learned how to like ride through the fame. It's all good now. It's all G because whatever I say, I don't consider myself thinking twice. I've learned to be authentic with what I want to say. I just make sure that I craft it in a way where it sounds professional. It doesn't sound abusive. It doesn't sound like I'm slamming anyone. No. And at the same time, again, like Douglas said, we live in a world where, okay, there's two different perceptions when it comes to jokes. Yeah, there are certain people who don't know how to joke and wants everyone to laugh and wants everyone to be okay with their jokes. Those are the people I don't understand. Sometimes I don't even see the joke behind it. But when people get mad, they're like, it's a joke. You're supposed to take it easily. Those are the people I don't understand, because sometimes I also feel like things are like really not funny. And then there are jokes which I genuinely find funny. And then I see the people going like haywire again because they cannot accept jokes. So we really need to like understand, like, this joke really has a meaning, like I really enjoy jokes, but there are so many people these days, just to cover up their nuisance, they say it's a joke, they call it a joke, just to avoid apologizing or being more mindful with what they say and how they say certain things. They cover up, they cover them up with the I was just joking, it was just for laughs and all of that. So that's one thing like I don't understand until today. Like, people need to know how to joke. Douglas is genuinely funny. I love Douglas. Uncle Roger, who? I got Uncle Douglas. No, I love everyone. But yeah, I mean, that's that lah. Like, it's a lot of responsibility, and I think we all just need to be very mindful. Like, you can be yourself. If you, I always tell people, as long as your intentions are pure, you will always win. Always.
Jimmy Carr has this very, I heard him say this, I don't know whether it's his or not, but I heard him say this. He goes like, offense is very rarely given. Offense is usually taken.
Yeah.
So, why are you pointing fingers at me? I didn't give the offense, you took it.
I want to bring this up. I'm not sure if you guys heard about it before. Maybe you have. So there was this one particular content creator who allegedly, I have to use my words correctly over here, allegedly made a music video about a skin whitening product. But basically, he got a complete backlash because he basically used... the whole concept of the music video was this girl always went underneath the sun, and because of that, she got really, really dark skin. But in the video, she was really painted really, really dark. Like, really, really dark, until it looks like as though she was brown, you know what I mean? After using the whitening cream, she apparently grew white. And obviously, that video kind of got a lot of backlash. A lot of people were saying that blackface is a thing of the past, and this person is very irresponsible and stuff like that. And this particular skin whitening brand apparently, allegedly always uses this method of advertising. Do you think, what do you think should have been done there? How could it have been better? I mean, the guy has obviously the content creator has come out to apologize and make amends and released another music video to right his wrongs and stuff like that. So what do you think about advertisers like who basically has this method of advertising and get like content creators to do whatever they want them to do?
I think it boils down to this, it boils down to how you craft your content, because I don't think it's the issue is not with the whitening product, it's how people advertise it. I have seen advertisement of how they use whitening products, right? So if someone is in a darker skin tone, they literally depict that person with no friends, or people just moving away from the person, people just like not wanting to associate with that person. And then when the person uses that product and becomes like so white, so fair and all of that, everyone who went away now starts coming back and like admiring that beauty. So I don't think it's the whitening product, it's the concept of dark skin is not beautiful. It's the concept dark skin is not pleasant to look at or pleasant to be around with. It's the mindset, and it's not whether I think it's not whether or not the company has thought about, this is what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen, and then they do it. I just think a lot of companies lack common sense. You don't do that kind of stuff. Like, you don't need to learn about it. It's just common sense. You don't portray people with darker skin as not beautiful. Like, if you want to portray burnt skin, it's not by portraying yourself as someone who's completely dark. What that person did, the person portrayed the actress or actor as someone who's completely dark, and that's not like sunburn. That's that common sense. People can tell that's not sunburn. You're giving out a completely different message, and it's because of that the video was completely just like, to me it was outrageous because I know what is sunburn. Sunburn is not that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, in all said and done, I think like this area of marketing, or this area of influencer marketing or content creator engagement and stuff like that, I would still think lah, it's still very new lah, and there are a lot of mistakes that will occur until like there is some sort of like standard that everybody will kind of like, all right, this is kind of like the standard of advertising with influencer marketing or content creator or digital marketing and stuff like that, working with influencers or content creators, because it's very new, man. I mean, like TV has been around for how long? Almost like 50, 60 years. And like the digital space has only been like really, really popular around for like what? Less than 10 years, I feel. Like where advertisers are pumping a lot of money. So I feel that, there's still a long way to go. But I think what Douglas mentioned just now, which until today still sticks to me, because, he has a team that basically self-checks everything, in other words, if I want to basically put it in layman terms, if you don't have a team that basically does all these things for you, you have to basically do your own due diligence lah. You have to self-regulate lah. You have to ask yourself a few questions. Am I ready to face the backlash if I do this? Will this happen? You have to basically lay down all the consequences if you were to do whatever you're going to do, say whatever you're going to say, because at the end of the day, as Douglas mentioned earlier on, you are basically putting yourself in the world stage right there. And yes, like it or not, it comes with the job. When immediately you basically amass a following or put the numbers of your followings grow, there is some sort of expectation, and it comes with the job. And it's sad to say that if you cannot take that kind of pressure, then this is not the career path that you should actually be ventured into. Otherwise, you're just gonna be really, really depressed, thinking that this is the career path that's gonna give me fame and glory, and in the end, you're gonna be a very depressed person, despite the fact of you being very, very creative. Because I have had some friends who have experienced that before. So I mean, I would like to thank Douglas and Arwin for joining today's conversation. A lot of views lah. I want to say that today is there are a lot of views and a lot of things for a lot of people listening today, watching as well, to ponder on. But I do need to basically also point your way. If you influencers out there who think that you want to come into this industry as a career, there are ways for you to basically fact check yourself. There are platforms for you to check out in order for you to know whether the form of advertising is right or not. There is a discussion going on in this place called the Content Forum. I think it's www.contentforum.my. It's where you basically go and check all the best practices in advertising, how you basically self-regulate and self-check yourself, whether you're doing the right things that you are not supposed to do. And I think it's basically content that's very, very commonly updated very regularly. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say, in order for you to get a better understanding on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. And I think this doesn't only apply to influencers, it also applies to advertisers as well. So Douglas, I mean, thank you so much for taking time for being here today. I know you're a very busy man. Before we go, would you like to say anything to all our listeners and all our viewers watching today or not?
Hey, if you want to be a content creator, I'm all for it. And I really respect all of you native content creators. Like, you guys do everything from scripting to acting to camera work to lighting to sound to editing. I'm from the old school. I work with a team and everyone was highly specialized in doing only one thing. And so now I'm way over in my head. I don't know. I'm not as good. I'm not as fast as all of you guys. But I think what I have that maybe you can learn from me is just understand this one fact. Not everybody is obliged to like you.
Okay.
I think this is very important. Just know this.
Yeah.
Not everybody is obliged to like you. Life doesn't like you.
Have you, now that you've said that, have you ever gone into this career, Douglas, doing what you do, right, going on stage, and like have this sort of subconscious thinking, right, in the back of your head, I hope everybody likes me, and then was a bit like let down because you do see some negative comments coming back, and I never expected
Why
this.
do you think so many people say stand-up comedy is so scary? It's because you will be shown hate immediately. You are shown rejection immediately. It doesn't come in the comments or in the dislikes by someone you don't see. It is the 500 people, 30 people, 20 people right in front of you, not laughing at a joke you said, basically telling you with their eyes and their silence, you failed. We hate you.
Oh, man.
And when you have done this for most of your life, and you realize, actually, you can continue. Next day, I can still eat my breakfast. I can still write jokes. Some people think I'm funny. I can still grow and do better. Then I guess maybe, but again, because I was born before social media, I can't. When Facebook and Instagram and all were down for 7 hours, I was so happy. It's fine. You see, it's fine. But some people will really affected. But again, because you are on social media, some people can be very mean. Just maybe in your head go like, hey, maybe if they said this comment about you, yes, it hurts you, but maybe it made them feel a bit better. So you kind of done them a favor, maybe.
Okay. What about you, Arwin?
I think exactly what Douglas said. Not everybody is gonna like you, and I think if you are looking to have everyone like you, then you're on the wrong path ultimately. If there is not a single person who dislike you, just know that you're not doing the right thing in life. If you're doing the right thing in life, you are bound to have people who dislike you. You might be the nicest and kindest person on earth. You can never have everyone on your side. And I think that's just how life is. Like Douglas said, life works that way. If you want the light, the darkness has to accompany you as well. And I think the important thing is no matter what you do, just be authentic with it. Be original, be genuine with it. And you'll eventually enjoy making more content because you're happy with the outcome.
Yeah. I agree with that. And of course, having this becoming a career, I know, yes, money is always on the top priority. Everybody wants to build followers. Everybody thinks that the more followers you get, the more money you make. That's I would like to say that's absolutely false. It's not really true. To be honest, there are some creators out there who doesn't even need a following, who are creative directors of big agencies as well. The numbers do not depict a person's ability to create or success. That's just what I want to say out there. So do not, really, it's true, Douglas, right? It is true, yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Remember, you can stream us on Spotify, you can stream us on Apple Podcasts and also Google Podcasts as well. Thank you so much for listening. Speak to you guys next time.